I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, and this is Prescription for Your Transformation, Real People, Real Conversations, and Real Success. And this is part 3, talking to Katie Carlson, the high energy queen. And it's high energy and abundant life. I mean, how much energy do you really want? And how much abundance do you really want? And the truth is, it's there for you. You just have to have the right people on your team to help you sort that out. And that is Katie Carlson. And so this is part 3. Love talking to her. If you haven't listened to the first 2, then absolutely listen to it. It's also on my radio show, Prescription for Your Transformation. Just check it out. And so today is an exciting field because as I shared in the last segment, and that's simply this, is that there's so much confusion. There's so much misuse, so much abuse, so much underuse, whatever you want to call it, in regards to our energies when it comes to our masculine energy and our feminine energy. And even I am still, learning so much about that, and it helps me show up in certain ways, understanding the masculine part of my energy and the feminine aspect as well. And so I really want to give the platform to Katie to enlighten us, to educate us, as I call her, an enlightened human being in this field that really authentically shares with us. And you decide for yourself, listening in, you decide for yourself how authentic her descriptions are, and she's spot on in what she talks about. And use that information to make some shifts and transformations in your life so that you can find that alignment that you really desire. Katie, it's all on you right now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bart. I truly love being here, and connecting with you on this topic is literally one of my favorite things to talk about. I could literally go for hours and hours and hours on understanding masculine and feminine energies and how they show up for us. So I think it will be helpful to the listeners to give you a little bit of a backstory. So if you're seeing this and you're seeing my face, you probably look at me, you're like, oh gosh, like she's such a, like you maybe see a lot of my feminine energy, right? That I have. We all have, as I'm a female being, we all have masculine and feminine energies. You have masculine and feminine energies. We all have masculine and feminine energies. The key is understanding how we harness these energies for different aspects and elements and being in our life. Okay. Now, a little backstory on me about, well, basically all my 20s. I had been in the healthcare space, and I had been working in sales, and I'd worked with a lot of men and surgeons and doctors and that nature. And not even realizing it, through my 20s, I basically became a man. I was surrounded by men all the time. And what was interesting is I took on a lot of their traits. Started through osmosis and just through matching and mirroring and just being in vicinity of a lot of these high-powered men, right? And as a woman in that place, I took on a lot of that masculine energy, and boy, did I build up my masculine energy. I built it up so high and so great that I could access it at any time. Any of the ladies that are listening to this right now, my hallucination is you probably know what that feels like, right? We're getting things done. We're achieving. We're making things happen. We're moving the needle. It's exciting. Like we're getting feedback. We're in this place of power. Like we feel so good, right? And it's exhausting. Mm-hmm. If you're core feminine, and here's the deal, whether you're homosexual, heterosexual, it does not matter. It does not matter. We all have all of these energies. The key is awareness, right? And how it's showing up for you, how you're overbuilding certain muscles. I had overbuilt my masculine muscles so much that I was drawing in a lot of feminine men in my relationship. And it worked out really well for a while until I wanted to relax into my feminine and be me, right? Because I am actually core feminine at the core of my being. And at the same time, I wasn't showing up that way. I was showing up very masculine in my relationships. I was very controlling. I was very, focused. Everything had to be this, and this, and this, and this. And then I would also realize I was depolarizing the relationship. Now, it does take two to tango. I say that it takes two to tango in this relationship, but I wasn't awake in a lot of those earlier relationships. Now, as I'm dating and meeting people, I am able to align myself pretty quickly and energetically based on our values, our belief systems, that sort of thing, if it's going to work out. And so I can actually reduce time, which is great. We don't have a scarcity problem, ladies. We have a sorting problem. And it's really about getting to know ourselves and how we're how are we showing up? Because if you would have asked me when I was 29, 28 years old, and I was actually running my own spinal distributorship, I was running my own company, I was crushing it, things were going great. Was I happy? Was I fulfilled? Well, it was what I was focusing on, right? I was in a relationship, but it wasn't fulfilling because I was controlling. I wasn't allowing the man to be the man, and I wasn't relaxing into my feminine energy. You guys, you all know we can all create chemistry with each other, right? Chemistry is an easy thing to we all can have chemistry, but connecting and creating polarity is a powerful tool that I love teaching people, especially women that have turned into men, core feminine beings that have turned into men, have overbuilt their masculine muscles to take charge and do that. And I'm not saying that it's bad, because we do need to take charge and align our energy and support our masculine energy in that way and move forward on things. And at the same time, there is a feminine way to access that energy in a much more receptive way that doesn't burn you out. Ladies and gentlemen, I was so burnt out right before my dark night of the soul. If you listen to the second episode, I talked a little bit about going through my dark night of the soul. I had burnt myself out to the point of like, there was no place to go, right? They always say the darkest hour is just before the dawn.
Right.
And that was it for me. I had to burn myself out. Guys, don't burn yourself out. Just learn about these different ways of accessing this kind of energy. So this is for women, especially right now. Sorry, guys. But for women, if you are out there and you are in an unsatisfying relationship, or you just feel like there's something missing in your relationship or the people that you're dating or, whatnot, maybe it's time to check in with yourself and allow some of your your trapped feminine energy to come out, because masculine energy is so drawn to feminine energy. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Right?
Totally.
And there's a radiance that it comes up when us ladies, right? When we step in and we relax, that doesn't even step in, I would say relax into our feminine energy. And there's ways of doing that. So ladies, if you're listening to this, there's a small thing, and you can just try this, okay? Just rub your hands together, okay? This comes from many, many, many years ago when we were, back when we were hunter and gatherers, right? There's a reason. Hunter, right? They're very focused, right? That's a very masculine energy, right? I'm going to go kill the deer and make it, do that. Women, right? Women, we have this ability and this focus. It's called diffuse awareness, right? Where we pick up all the little details of everything, right? And that's why when we have a discussion with a man, and we're just our words are just coming out like verbaria, right? A man's like, get to the point, get to the point, get to the point.
Yeah, it's the Met report, right?
Right? It's the Meadow report, because we have all these details, right? We have all these details that we want to just share. And that keeps us safe by knowing all of these details. It keeps us safe. And I could go and speak much deeper on this, but I'm going to kind of give you high levels of all of this masculine and feminine energy. But it starts with understanding the root of where this all came from, right? As hunter and gatherers, we have this energy, this awareness. Men and masculine energy, and again, we can harness this, ladies. They have this ability to focus on the things, right? Focus, 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 which is great because they can get things done. They can move through things. And women, we've been able to harness that. We've seen the benefits of being able to do that. But when you overdo it, it overdoes it. Overdoing it overdoes it, especially with feminine energy. I like to think about masculine and feminine energy in a couple different ways. If you think about a river, okay, let's think about a river, like a long, beautiful river. Along that river, and we're going to use the water, the river, the actual body of water We're going to use that as the feminine energy. And the banks of the river is what I like to say is like the masculine energy. The rocks in the river, the masculine energy. Now, at different points on this river, the river could be raging, right? And there could be a feminine storm that's about to erupt, and all of our thoughts and our things are just, we feel like a crazy person, right? We're just thrashing all about, and we just feel like we're overreacting and all of this, that, and the other. That's feminine energy. Ladies, that's a real thing. It's just energy. It's trying to make its way through the body. So when we lash out on certain things, there's other outlets that we can do to get rid of that energy. And it's just being mindful and resourceful of it. At the same time, we can also signal to our partner, and they can gain some awareness as to maybe the situation or why that's happening. So as the men are the rocks in the river, as the water continues to flow, and they're getting polished, they're shining, they're learning, they're getting, and they're steady, right? And as for feminine energy, what do we need? As core feminine beings, we need that stability. We need that certainty that comes with masculine. Yeah. And that's safety. Bingo. Biggest word. Safety that comes with that masculine energy. And as women, if we're trying to be, all the things, be the provider, be the safety net, be all of this, it is exhausting. And there's a lot of single moms out there that are doing it and rocking it. Amen. We're not meant to go this life alone. And I say this because I know for me and my experience, I pushed men away because I felt like I needed to control. I needed to have this on, all of this needed to make sense, when that's not the core essence of my being. And so I pushed away a lot of really, really good men. Right. And so going back to the river analogy, right? There could be points in the river where we're just trickling by and things are very easily flowing, but it could also be raging. And that's the beauty of working in a partnership where you can understand each other's masculine and feminine energies. For men, why do men, I'm not saying all men, I'm not, stereotyping here, but when we think about drinking alcohol, right? It's fluid. That's what beer and alcohol is actually it's a feminine energy, right? It's flowing, right? So people that want to just numb out, right? Men, they've been focused all day. You've been doing 6 hours of surgery, 8 hours of surgery. They come home, they just want to relax. Well, as a woman, she's been taking care of everything all day. She's been exerting so much of her masculine energy. And then, there's this disconnect that happens a lot of times in relationships, especially where we just don't understand each other.
Yep.
We just don't understand each other. And there's ways of creating that understanding, creating that communication, men to holding space. I will tell you, as a core feminine being, and truly before Date with Destiny 2018, I literally questioned whether I was core feminine or core masculine. And if you're hearing me and you can see how I'm speaking with my hands, and I'm very I'm all over the place. Right. I'm very feminine. But I had overworked in the past. I had overworked my masculine, which had burned me out. The more I'm able to relax into my feminine and harness my feminine energies, doesn't mean I don't call on my masculine. I love them both, right? And you can start to learn to love both of them. And ladies, because I will say, we live in a society today where it's funny to emasculate men. It's funny to, Hollywood has glorified it. All of our conditioning, and I grew up in a household and parents that, it was a very going through the motions. I won't go into the nitty gritty details of that, but we are all products of our own environment. And if we get curious that there might be another way, right? There might be another pathway, we can start to explore what that looks like for us. And especially the conditioning I just mentioned around, women emasculating men. We've looked at it as funny, putting men down. Guys, that's not, when you look at the masculine energy, and the same with feminine energy, but masculine, if you're a core masculine man, every core masculine man has a little boy in there that wants to be a hero and gets built up and puffs his chest through praise. Ladies, if you want something done and you want it, but it's got to be intentional, don't use this for manipulation. If you want to get something, if you want your man to do something, you need to make him your hero. Make him your hero. Praise him. Appreciate him for what he does. Appreciate him. Men, on the contrary, if you need more physical touch, more sex, whatever. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to like talk about this on here, but here we are.
Okay.
Okay. You want that from your wife or from that feminine being that you love and adore and, appreciate so much. Give her presence.
Mm-hmm.
We thrive. Women thrive on connection. Just holding space. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to fix it. Don't fix it. You don't need to fix it.
Yeah.
We don't have a point. We just need to be heard. Just hold the trash can. Hold the trash can. And you don't even have to remember any of the details. Just hold us and tell us that you love us. Just hold us. And if you can calm a woman down so easily. I'm not saying everybody, but if she's in her rage, right, and the rage monster has acted up in her head and she's starting to call up all the things that you do wrong in your life, interrupt her pattern, go over to her, embrace her, touch her, love her. Just hold on to her and tell her that she's okay and that she's safe and that you're not going anywhere. Those are the sexiest things a core feminine can hear from a man, especially when she's going through when she's having a moment.
There's so much to dissect in all of this, and I know our time is up, and I just want to share a couple of things for the guys, especially out there, and for the women too. And first of all, and I ask this question to people all the time. What do men want? What do women want? And in 90% of the time, they get it wrong. So women want that safety, and what the man wants, actually, they want the woman to be happy. And what does that actually translate to is exactly what you said. Now they're the hero. So they are able to create the space, the security, where the woman feels, present and safe and in all of her dimensions, that she can explore all these dimensions, and the guy is totally fine. And a trick that I found, and this is no discredit to a woman or a man in any respect, but the truth is that one of the easiest way to be present is to actually not take anything personally, and recognizing, and this is a key phrase that I tell my clients as a coach as well, is, you ask yourself, what's my work to do? What is their work to do? Now, when the woman is in all these different spaces, that's her work to do. You've got no responsibility. As you said, just listen, be present. Don't take ownership of it. It's not about you, and it's not about the nail, right?
It's not.
You know the video I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not about the nail.
Yes.
And it's not about you. And so for you guys out there, this is a key thing, and one of the easiest ways to begin to understand, how you can optimize a relationship. The final thing I'm going to say: what do women want? They want love. What do men want first? They want respect, and it has to be done in that order. So men want respect and love in that order. Women want love and respect in that order. And when they don't get that, then things just are misaligned. But anyhow, as we wrap up, how do people find you, Katie?
Yes, you can find me. Yes, a lot of different ways on my website, highenergykc.com, as well as Instagram. I am Katie Carlson. And then on Facebook, just Katie Carlson. I have a free Facebook group called Heal High Energy Abundant Living, where I share a lot of tools, tips, tricks. I just recently launched another group called Hack Your Energy, where I'm sharing. I go lives. We have a lot of collaboration, connection that happens in that Facebook group. Actually, in the kickoff week of that happening right now, which is really amazing. And if you want to sign up for that, it's 5 ways to hack your energy.com. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and then I actually have a podcast, The Katie Carlson Show. Love to have you on it eventually here, Dr. Bart. And then I actually have an event coming up on October 24th through the 27th in Sedona, Arizona, called Resonance, where we'll be reprogramming your nervous system to higher energetic states so that you can create that kind of life and draw in that abundance that you desire most. I will be speaking about masculine and feminine energies in depth, in detail at that event. And yeah, I really, really have enjoyed this, and then just appreciate the time and the space to come on here and speak with you.
Oh, you're so awesome, and you're so welcome, and the honor is mine. And I know you got to jump, and so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, prescription for your transformation, real people, real conversations, and real success. tapping into that authentic genius that's within you. You just need the right kind of guides, like Katie Carlson, like myself, to help you reveal, the areas within you, your own inner power, so that you could be the best version of yourself and the best service to the world around you. Katie, thank you so much, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Dr. Rademacher's Prescription for Your Transformation. Continue the path towards discovering your own authentic genius by tuning in next time for more real conversations with real people.